Welcome back to our podcast. We have today Sarah Harker. So happy to have you. Thanks for joining us. And we're going to be talking a lot about CGMs, continuous glucose monitor. This is something. Oh, you got yours on? Oh, I like your patch too.
Thank you. I know. We can get into that too.
Yeah, we will. So she has a really interesting backstory, I think. What we love having her here with us is you empower so many women and you're such a good connector and builder up of all these women. So we appreciate it. And I'm sure they do as well. So tell us, because I was reading here and I saw it as seen on the Drew Barrymore show. You were on that?
We just have to drop that. Yeah, yes! We were.
That's
Janine
cool.
And I, my partner was City Moms. Oh gosh, it was right in the middle of COVID, I guess, probably 4 years ago at least now. And
that's the time to build things during COVID.
Always. It was so much fun, but they reached out because they had the best friend episode. Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore are best friends. And so they were looking for other best friends around the nation. And so we got to show them around Indianapolis. So it was super fun.
That is a pretty cool story. So I love that. I guess tell us a little bit about your background. You are co-owner of the City Moms. Mm-hmm. Tell us what that is.
Yeah, the City Moms is a lifestyle media brand, and you can find us on Instagram. Shameless plug. Mm-hmm.
I like it. We'll drop some links too.
Yes, please drop some links. And actually, all the stuff we're going to talk about today, I made a little section on our links too, so you guys can find the fitness stuff that we talk about too, and the monitor.
Awesome.
So definitely follow us there. City Moms, Janine started it about 12 years ago, and it started out as a small she had just moved from Michigan, wanted to get more people together and meet people, and it's grown immensely in the past few years to be focused on getting brands in front of the people that make decisions, which are moms, and helping highlight all the things that we love. I really feel like work. We just have a lot of fun.
That is fantastic. I love that. So what else? It says you're founder of Matchmaker Consulting.
Yeah, so I have kind of a different backstory. I always say in my former life, I was a nurse. So for 10 years, I was a nurse. I guess I'm technically still a nurse since I just paid my dues for my license.
I did not know that about you, that you were a nurse as well.
Yeah, I was a cardiac nurse for 10 years and about 8 years ago started my first company to help prevent burnout in healthcare. I was taking care of my coworkers as much as my patients, but enjoying that more. And so I stepped away to do that and got into some consulting with other healthcare companies, which is how you and I met. Direct primary care.
There you go.
Yeah, so just kind of slowly wiggled my way out.
I know, and I almost forgot that's where I initially heard of your name before too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so tell us about yourself, your health journey, kind of what got you so passionate about the CGMs.
Yeah. Well, I'm just a little bit nerdy anyway. I think probably from my background in nursing and in healthcare, I still always love learning about that. And I have a uncle who started a regenerative medicine business in the 70s in South Carolina. So way before it was a thing. And I grew up going there a few times a year, and I got to work at their office and learn a lot about hormones. And it's been really fun watching that come to the forefront thanks to Suzanne Summers, I think is really what brought us into that world. Shout out Suzanne. But so got hooked there. Then I had a parent diagnosed with diabetes a couple years ago, and I freaked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's one of those things you just think well, it's not going to affect me, or it's way down the line. Or, I don't know. So I just thought, well, what can I do to be preventative and focus more on that? And then I tried a monitor, thanks to Melissa, who's my NP that I see here, and found that it was really helpful for me to not be obsessive with that. I was able to just put data. I had, when I was in high school and college, I had bulimia and had a lot of trouble with obsessing in food. And so
it's a healthier way to look at things, right? Versus a number on a scale.
It took all the feelings out of it for me. So I was able to just look and be like, okay, this food affects my blood sugar with this way. And then it was just the number. So it really was a huge game changer for me. And I'm not diabetic, but I continue to do that. I love that you guys have this here. This is the one that I use.
Well, it's so funny. And I actually, because I haven't used one for a while, but I was like, we've been on vacation. I was like, I need a reset. Yeah. So I got mine today because it is, I need that objective numbers and I just need something to help. I don't know. I want to keep it healthy, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to care about the number on the scale.
Right.
But I do want to care about the objective of the why for my heart, my kidneys, those kind of things.
Totally. And I've gotten it through my insurance provider before, and it's actually more expensive than that one.
And that's one of the reasons we did it, because Janelle, she loves hers. And I think hers like $150. And these we can get for so much cheaper.
Yeah. And this goes, I think it's pronounced Stello.
Yeah, I think
so.
Right?
Okay. And it goes with your Oura ring if you're a Oura ring person
cool.
like me. So I love that. That's how I first heard about it, because Oura sent an email out, and I thought, well, I'll just test it. And they send you 2 in a package. You can sign up for it to be like regular if you want, but I try to do kind of like you said, just like resets, or if I'm looking at a certain thing or I'm not feeling very well, then that's the first thing that I'll add. And it's been great.
Have you noticed yours when you're using it at nighttime? Did you ever notice it dropping at night?
No, my now that you say that, I guess I do realize at like 2 a.m, it seems like it really,
So the cool thing I like about this is a lot of women, especially like perimenopausal to menopausal women, will say, I am hot flashing. It's my estrogen going down.
Yeah.
Well, lots of times it's not. It'll actually be your glucose dropping down, and say you have a glass of wine or a bowl of ice cream, and you don't have protein with it, or after it. So what happens is your insulin is spiking up to bring that glucose down, but then it keeps on going down and your cortisol spikes up. And that's what causes you to wake up. I have to urinate. I have hot flashes. So when I first used mine, here I am, I was kind of that group too. I'd always talk about this, but then I felt it and I'm breaking out in a sweat. And then I went and my alarm went off within like 30 seconds of me waking up with a hot flash.
Yeah.
And so the next night I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this protein before bed. Did it. My blood sugar stayed stable all throughout the night. No hot flashes.
Yep.
And it was completely related to the sugar. So that's another reason I like these too. Is this hormonal, or is this really related to your glucose cortisol?
Yeah. And I think that's something that people miss a lot, when you guys are so great about this here at Health is Wealth, but a lot of times you'll hear people say they go to their doctor and they're just automatically like, this age, check this. And let's get you on.
Here's your hormones.
Yeah, let's get you on synthetic hormones and all sorts of things that aren't going to help you. And I think that's great about Health is Wealth, the way that you guys check that. And I experienced that myself. I've been having hot flashes for a couple of years now, and I was just like, this is really crazy to be this low, and my hormones have been fine.
Yeah.
And then I actually cut gluten out like 4 months ago and stopped having hot flashes.
Isn't that crazy? And people don't ever associate gluten with hot flashes.
Yeah, and I think it has to do to, obviously, things that are high in gluten usually are also high in sugar.
Yes, and you're avoiding them.
Yeah, and I was eating that before bed. So I think that's probably one of the things I've been most surprised about, is what I've learned from this of pairing protein. The craziest thing for me has been walks. Yeah. If I even just go a lap around my block, which I don't have a huge street, it's a big difference. Even if I'm eating, so I like to play with it now. And but if I eat even something that's like, I don't know, creamer in my coffee or something like that, and then I go for a walk, it doesn't go above my range of what I'm aiming for.
I love that.
And it's not even like a 15-minute walk, maybe, is what it is. So
they started talking about that. It's even if you take a 10-minute walk after you eat and you do that throughout the day, that it's even better than doing like, say, your hour workout in the morning or 45 minutes. So I love to see that. It's good for connection and getting outside. I mean, I'm a big fan of the nature, right? Yeah. Always putting in a hike somewhere if we go on vacation, or, just getting out there. Yeah. So has the continuous glucose monitor aided any weight loss for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that was probably what really kicked off. I've lost like 20 pounds in the past 4 months. Thank you.
In 4 months, that's really good.
Yeah, I've been, well, cut out gluten.
Yeah, so that'll do it.
I had some health stuff going on the past couple of years that I haven't been able to really tolerate a lot of foods besides bland bread stuff.
Okay.
And then I realized that was causing a lot of it as well.
Increase that inflammation, so other foods get you bothered.
Yeah. And so once I started cutting that out, about 3 weeks in, I noticed a huge difference in how I felt. Amazing. And now it doesn't even sound good to me because I don't want to feel like that. But so I really credit the continuous glucometer with that, because that helped take the emotion out of it for me. So it was truly just a health decision. But I think that it helps you choose those. I hate how people say this like trendy word now of gamify, but it really does make it like a game of keeping on track.
I do like it. And some patients will realize like, oh, this spikes my glucose when it may not spike mine, or whatever happens to you, it might not do mine. So it's very interesting to see that too. I think we all have these different levels of insulin resistance, and I think that can fluctuate depending on stress, sleep, all those other things that come along with it. So I do really like those numbers.
Yeah, I did notice that with my sleep too. If I don't sleep well, or if or sick, of course it affects that. What surprise, have you had any foods that you were like, oh, that is shocking?
Oh my gosh. So if I have a glass of wine And
it's always the wine.
It's always the wine. I don't take away all the fun stuff. So if I have a glass of wine before bed, I'm definitely hot flashing at 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. What I don't know if this is good or bad, but what I learned is if I have that glass of wine and I have protein right before bed, I don't hot flash. And so I think that was for me okay, so how can because I'm a very realistic person. I want to live my life. We get just one life, but I want to do the best I can. But I do enjoy a glass of red wine. I don't need dessert, but I like a glass of red wine.
A tablespoon of peanut butter and wine.
That's better than something there. Hard-boiled eggs. There's other things that I do too. Protein shake sometimes. So any key foods, habits, patterns you notice that causes your spikes?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I probably eat 5 sweet potatoes a week. And I like carb cycling. That works really well for me. So Mondays and Tuesdays I do low carb, and then I do higher carb and heavier weightlifting throughout the week. And so I can eat a whole sweet potato and it doesn't bother it. Okay. But if I eat half a banana, I spike like crazy.
100%.
Even with protein paired. So I do notice though, if I do it with protein and walk, it doesn't spike.
It doesn't spike it. I love that. And I love how you said for me, because it is so different. Everybody's bodies reacts differently to these things. So I think that's really great. How has this changed your approach to nutrition, workouts, lifestyles?
Yeah, I think it keeps me motivated because I have enough curiosity in me that I'm like, I wonder what will happen. Right. And I think consistency has always been a thing. I mean, we have a lot of kids and we both work a lot. Yes. So, that's a hard thing. It helps me be more consistent because I want to know what that number is going to be. And I want to see that effect with.
Absolutely. And I love it. How many kids do you have?
Three boys.
3 boys. Oh gosh. Yeah. So you are very busy too. And I like to set those healthy habits for my kids to see. And I do like that it is an objective number like this versus them seeing, oh, mom said she's trying to lose weight. No, mom's trying to keep her glucose under control so I can live the longest I can.
Yeah. My middle son is probably the most attentive to that. He likes to put it on for me.
Oh, that is so fun. I should have Grace put mine on. Yeah. My daughter's here today with us for this podcast. And maybe I'll have you put mine on later.
Yeah, you should do it on here.
Maybe you want to try
a little demo.
Yeah, we'll get to the end of this and we'll do a little demo because it's very easy to use.
You're supposed to tell her you have to pay me more when you ask.
That's right, exactly.
Her hourly rate is another thing added to my resume, Mom.
Exactly. I love it. Any myths or misconceptions around blood sugar or CGMs?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I feel like there's so many now. I think the big one is that there's a needle in your arm. That's probably the thing I hear the most.
Right. That's the same like with blood draws too. And like with IVs when they go in, they're like, there's still one in there. And you're like, you're okay, everything's fine.
Yeah. So you use a needle to insert it, but it's very quick. You don't feel it at all. It's smaller than even an insulin needle if you know what that looks like. And then it's just a teeny tiny cannula that stays in your arm and you can't feel it at all.
It's flexible.
If you do a demo with this, it's the noise is the
That's
thing.
what makes me jump.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a really loud click.
Yes.
But it doesn't hurt at all.
No.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. The other one is about getting it wet, which is you can, even without this, I have a cover that I like. But
tell me about your cover because I've never seen that before.
Well, with these, if you buy it through Aura or Stello, it comes with a black cover. I don't like it. I think it hurts to take it off because it's like cement almost with the one that Aura sends you. Yeah, it's like too much adhesive. It actually has a little clear one and you can swim with it and shower with that. That's fine. I just like having this covering it. Also, I find that people ask me less about it and I'm just like, I don't really want to talk to strangers about my health, Exactly. This one I think is, it's a normal Band-Aid. Is it Curid maybe?
Oh yeah.
CUARD is the one that I like the best.
From that brand. That's great.
There's another one called something Skin, which is linked in our fitness links, but it's the best one. It hurts. This doesn't hurt that much. It's just you feel it pulling it off. It's like a Band-Aid. If you get it wet, it's easier in the shower. But that one, that Skin Grip is the name of the one that I like the best. And you can get those on Amazon or I haven't seen them in store, but that doesn't mean they
might have.
So yeah, if you need it like right away, I'd grab the CureGuard one.
I like it. Thank you. Good tip. I also like to make sure people know that these are not for type 1 diabetics, right? So anybody who's using these is not taking away from what type 1 diabetics need to use, because obviously that definitely comes first. These can be used for type 2 diabetes to monitor, as well as people who are trying to watch their insulin and glucose and sugar, right? Who do you think could benefit most? from these?
Well, I'm biased, but I'm obviously going to say perimenopausal women or menopausal women, I think.
Yes.
For sure. You know what else? I think it's kind of a hack to remind yourself to take care of yourself.
I 100% agree, because it's a physical thing too, because you're feeling it, you know it's there, and you think, okay, if I'm going to go eat something bad, what's it going to do?
Yeah, and I found it's made me a lot more present for caring for myself too. I've been trying to work on that, and I think all of us are not the best, and especially nurses, we're the worst patients.
Yes, 100%.
So it helps me remember of, okay, don't forget there's somebody else here too that you need to be watching.
Good for you. Yeah. I like that. Any guidance to people trying to get started or curious about using it?
Yeah, just do it. Right. I think that's a big thing. I think there's often, especially if it's something new you haven't done before, you have more suspense build up than there really is. Even I'm really obviously familiar with this type of thing coming from nursing. That was a learning curve with the Stello, but it's got a great app that tells you step by step how to do it with video, with all the things. And if you don't want to do that, you can just look it up on YouTube or Brandy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you have to post one. Yes, exactly. how to set it up. And I mean, what's the worst that can happen is that you don't do it right the first time.
Exactly. And that has happened to some patients, and they weren't 100%. So we're always happy to put it on you for the first time in the office, just so you can see how easy it is.
Yeah.
There's always nurse visits. You can just stop in. You don't have to make an appointment. That's that quick and easy.
Yeah.
But I do like these for any patient, especially just getting started, or even if you feel like you're at your optimal health, but you maybe have a blood sugar that's like creeping up in the 90s. Okay, let's take a peek at this and see actually where you're going. You talked about using this in a healthy, non-obsessive way.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little about that too, because I think there are a lot of people who, whether it's body dysmorphia, whether it is bulimia, anorexia, or it doesn't even have to have a label to it. If it's an unhealthy relationship with food, that's our goal, is to always have a healthy relationship with food. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I think probably my second biggest tip is just to come to this with a curiosity, basically, of, or if it helps you, if you have kind of a scientific mind, think of it as being like a pilot for you. Yes. It might work, it might not.
Right.
And I think you're going to know if it's a good choice for you or not. If you're in the place where it's a really active eating disorder right now, probably not the best thing to do. Yeah. And I know I have heard some people that they can hook it up with their provider or something like that. So they're not the one monitoring it. Just coming in for regular labs and keeping an eye on your A1C is a great option if you're worried you'll get to that obsessive part. For me, I love surprising myself, and I was surprised that it wasn't obsessive, but it's just, there's sometimes I don't even look at my phone for a day of, to monitor it when things are really busy, but I was surprised that it didn't make me obsessive, and it was more of just a check in and a way to monitor. Yeah. And I also, if you have headaches ever, at first I thought, well, maybe my blood sugar is just getting really low. Nope.
Great point. Yes.
It just means I wasn't drinking any water that day.
Exactly.
So it really helps. Yeah, as a key.
I do. I love hearing about it too, because it could be fatigue. It can be the irritability when your blood sugar is going down. I like it for that tool to say, are my symptoms related or are they not?
Right. And I really like, you can tag too with, if you have the Oura Ring or if you just have the Stello app, you can tag in it. So say you do have a headache and you go and put
the symptom in.
And you can track it that way long term to see if it's at 2 a.m. every time. Well, maybe you need to look at your wine.
Yeah, exactly. What am I having before bed? I do. The app I think is really cool. And I think a lot of our patients are pretty like fitness savvy. They're pretty nutrition savvy. But if you are just starting out, it has everything you need to know about it, right? Todd's talked about insulin glucose, talks about nutrition. I think it's just a quick, easy place to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you have to add?
Let me look at my list. One of the questions is, what do you wish more women knew about glucose and hormones in that relationship?
Yeah, I think that, earlier mentioning it with that middle of the night hot flashing is probably one of my biggest ones.
Yeah.
I talked about this the other day on a different podcast too, is that insulin glucose, even during perimenopause, menopause for women, it changes a ton. Like men, they can intermittent fast and it's not like causing their hormones to fluctuate, and their hormones aren't fluctuating, causing the glucose and insulin to fluctuate, right? So it's completely different for women, but I agree with you. It's kind of that perimenopause, menopause, I do feel like is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
I do think if somebody is trying to change up their lean muscle to fat ratio, it's helpful as well. But I do think it's just a good accountability marker, because that's when it says, okay, well, I can't drink wine Sunday through Thursday because I need to get this in gear, because it does shut my metabolism down and I'm not sleeping as soundly.
Yeah. What do you recommend intermittent fasting for people trying to?
So I will tell you, every patient, it's not a one size fits all.
It's like, controversial conversation.
So I've got a lady who is menopausal and she does great eating between a window because it takes away the thinking about food and food noise, right? People talk about food noise a lot and I completely get that too. So for her, it kind of gets her in that window and she does great. Men, they do fine with it. For women, perimenopause, menopause, I'm a big believer in eating within an hour of waking up, kind of starting things out through that way. Yes, if we can do where we stop eating when it gets dark, right, and we're getting close to bed, I think that's great. But I do have some patients, especially my diabetic patients, and people who are very insulin resistant, they do tend to do a little bit better if they do eat that hour before bed too. So I think it's different for everybody, whether it's a 12-hour window, 8-hour window of eating, but yeah, it's kind of different for everyone.
Yeah, I think so too. I think one thing I try and remind myself too is insulin is a hormone.
Yes.
And seeing how, all of our hormones work together. I think that's 100%. Another big piece for me that I try and remember, especially with estrogen and testosterone.
Yes.
They influence that sensitivity a lot. It is another thing I try and remember of, when you're looking for ways to affect those hormones, besides, of course, there's a place for hormone replacement biosynthetics, but it's also, there's a lot you can do too that you do have control over.
100%. And thyroid is in there too. So we always talk about like the 4 legs of a chair. And if one thing is pulling it off, everything else is going to be pulling too.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's 2 more questions on here that I'm just being nosy because I want to know what yours is.
I love it.
But your go-to blood sugar friendly snack and then your favorite workout and movement right now.
Okay. So right now, I do attend FitFlexFly.
I love that place.
You do too?
Yeah, it's so neat. I follow them on Instagram and an influencer here in Indy goes there that I'm always like,
what are they doing?
Yeah, it's so cool. They've got such a neat community there.
They have a great community, but they also have, they have an infrared room. And so during the summer, you're not going to see me at FitFlexFly just because I can't get there with my kids' schedules. And again, it's probably an excuse, but my husband travels owning businesses. So I have to do something a little bit closer to home. But during the fall, I like to do a personal training session there. Shout out to Marianne. She's fantastic. Awesome. Kids, Becca, she's like the best. And so I really like doing their personal training classes once per week to make me lift heavier, but do it safely. And then if I have like a shoulder injury or, they will make modifications. They're just so good about that. Marianne, actually, kind of a side note, she had a great thing being like, well, it used to be don't move it if it hurts, right? Rest it. But now it's the point where, little movements are good and it's actually going to help it. So she really helped me get through a shoulder injury I was having. And then they have the infrared classes. There's a Pilates or a hustle muscle flow. And it's in like a hot room.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I feel like I'm sweating good. I feel like I'm detoxing when I'm in there. And then their classes are awesome. I just tend to use probably those 2 the most. And then I do use Orange Theory when I need to be closer to home. So I do, because I do heavier weights as well. And then I will do lighter weights, more reps, but it does get me my cardio going.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a combination of things right now. But I do think walking, playing with the kids, coaching softball, all the fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and back to protein snacks.
Yeah.
So hard-boiled eggs, if you're not having an egg sensitivity, that's one of my go-tos because it's easy. We hard-boil probably 8 to 10 eggs at the beginning of the week, get through them. I really love tuna with egg too. So I'll do a combination of that. It is so good. Yes. And I like adding in a little of smoked paprika. Just gives a little bit extra flavor. Yeah. So I like that one. I will do a protein bar occasionally. I love Metagenics has a whey if you're not sensitive to dairy. But they have a whey chocolate protein shake. It does taste like a dessert, but it has a high grams, putting the collagen into that too. Let's see, what else do I do? Handfuls of nuts and rotating nuts, seeds, things like that. I don't tend to be sensitive to dairy, so I do like cottage cheese, flax seeds, things like that.
What about for people who are sensitive to whey? Because I know there's
a rice and pea plant protein. I'm completely fine with it. Some people like it, some people don't. And so I always try to have things on hand that people can take home and try before you buy, because I think they're not overly inexpensive.
Right.
So I want you to try it before you go home with a whole bag of it.
Sure.
But if it is something you have to have like the rice and pea plant base, that is okay because they're sourced from good places. So it's not like you're getting bad rice, right? So Metagenics, the brand I like for that as well. I know Janelle's really good at this because she's tried about every protein powder. So I'll have to have her like, Janelle, if you're watching next, go ahead and give us some suggestions in the comments, because I'm going to tell you, somebody who is fantastic on their nutrition is Janelle McKee here.
Yeah.
She's really good.
Yeah, I just got the Ritual one to try. I love that company. Are you familiar with Lindsay Dahl?
No, I'm not.
So Beauty Counter was where I met her through that. And
love Beauty Counter.
Me too. And Counter. She's the person behind, Counter now. She's the person behind all of the lobbying and all the scientific data of making sure that we're using the right ingredients.
Yes.
She's brilliant. She has a book coming out. I think it's called Cleaning House.
Okay.
And she works for Ritual now and is behind their science. So I'm like, I trust Lindsay with anything. And she's a mom now too. So yeah, you guys should definitely have her book here. She's just phenomenal. So we are actually going to be talking with her this week on City Moms on our membership platform called The Circle 2 coming up. But
so cool.
We have a big Ritual giveaway with that too. She sent a bunch of Ritual and Counter stuff for us to give away for that. So you guys should watch.
Oh, that is fun. We need to make a note of that.
Yeah. And I'll report back for the protein.
Yes. Please do comment for us too.
You know what? One more thing. I get like too full when I'm eating the macros I'm supposed to be eating. I have like no room. So I often will do a protein shake at night just to get to that spot. And it doesn't feels like, I think I've always had a separate stomach for ice cream. And it feels like that for a protein shake.
You sound like my daughter. She was like, no, that's in the other stomach. Yeah, this stomach is full of the good stuff.
But it is hard. It is a whole like full-time job to find one that you like.
it really is. Because there's so many out there and then they're just not clean a lot of times. And you just want to make sure you know what you're eating.
I see all these on TikTok that everyone's like, it tastes like ice cream. And then you look at and it's like 5 different kinds of gums and all sorts of things, you know. Yep. So I'll take you up on those samples.
Yes, exactly. We'll get you some. See here. So tell us, I guess, more about your business, how we can support you. What should listeners expect?
Yeah. Well, we live on Instagram. So if you want to reach us, my personal Instagram is Sarah Jessica Harker. That's not my actual middle name. It's actually Elizabeth, but I just love Sarah Jessica Parker.
It does sound really fancy.
Sounds close. Yeah. And everyone always thinks that I'm saying Parker. So anyway, I'm Sarah Jessica Harker on Instagram, and then City Moms were there all the time. City Moms on Instagram. We've got a new membership platform launching soon, which is really fun. Lots of giveaways coming with that. So fun. And then my consulting business, I usually work with female founders that have under 5 full-time employees. It's kind of my sweet spot, and I love to help them grow and walk them all the way through to sale of their business. So
how cool.
If you know anyone who needs that. Sometimes I'm taking clients right now. I'm really busy, but
that's not a bad problem. Be busy.
Yeah, no, it's like, gosh, it's such a great busy when you're doing what you love, which you know.
Yes, absolutely. I do love it. It's not work. Yeah, we enjoy it. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. Thanks for having me.
Well, we thank you for being here. It was a lot of fun. I always have a great time talking to you, even though I got to meet you the first time. We could probably talk forever, so I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, thank you again.
Yes, tune in next time. Hello there. Thank you for joining us. I'm here with my daughter, Grace. And so she's going to 7th grade, and we want to show you how simple and easy these are to apply. So basically, going to open it up. And the app with this, guys, is so cool. So that is one of the biggest things. You're going to download the app because you're going to get so much information from it. So it comes in this cool box. It's got one of the biosensor kit. And again, reminder, these are not for type 1 diabetics. These are for people who are wanting to know more about their glucose after eating certain foods or exercising. So it comes in this cool case. So I don't know if you can see this. I'm kind of get it up through here. That tiny little needle that you really cannot feel. If you see me jump, it's because I always jump with the clicking of it. And it also comes and it has a sticky Band-Aid with it. So next step is Grace is going to clean off my arm with the alcohol pad. And we've not given Grace any instructions until right now. So she's doing a fantastic job. So you're going to put it right about through here.
Okay, like
so you clean off that whole big area in case you miss. So lots of times we'll just kind of clean from the inside. You can turn around if you want and clean it again. So Grace, you're going to take this. Don't touch this button right here. That's going to be the button to set it off. So you're going to put it against my skin.
Like right there?
Yep. And then you're going to push down.
Okay.
And now push the white button. Felt nothing.
Okay. That's
Pull it
good.
out. And you did it. Easy, right?
Yeah, that was really easy.
Anybody can do it. So hopefully you enjoyed that tutorial. If you are still nervous or concerned about it, come on in. You don't need an appointment. We have plenty of people here that can help you and show you how to do it, but simple as that. So thank you, Grace.
Yep.